February 11th. It's an amazing day. We got a very special woman here in the studio with us today, Miss Alycia Cooper.
Hey,
is it Mrs.?
Yes, Mrs. Alycia.
Mrs. Alycia Cooper. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is just so awesome. I love it. It's just a pleasure to have met you in person.
I think this is really dope is my word. So I think this is really dope. I mean, I have guests here all the time. Usually, I don't start out like right at the beginning of the show with a guest. It's usually like a little bit into it. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm grateful in so many ways. I start off, really just talking about how much I love media, how much I love connecting with just artists and entrepreneurs and people who are following their passion. It's not even about a celebrity type of thing or status or nothing like that. I just like connecting with people who are helping other people through their talent and through their purpose and them following their purpose. Obviously, I love comedy. I love going to the improv, so I try to connect with a majority of the comedians and the acts that come through there. So I was telling you, I saw probably 3-4 weeks ago that you were coming. So I said all that time, and I told Decisive, like, okay, I'm going to reach out. And then, like, Sunday, I said, damn, I didn't say nothing. So I was, like, prayerful that, okay, hopefully somebody will see the email. Because I know that, I mean, if you're busy, like, your assistants are busy, your management is busy. So I'm like, hopefully they even see the request. And she doesn't have, like, a whole bunch of other, press things or stuff like that going on when they get to the city and whatnot. So I'm grateful to you for coming. You're helping me further my passion of doing this.
And that's what I think we should do for one another.
Absolutely.
Just so many people have done so many things, and I think everybody should use whatever they can use to help one another make it to the next level.
Yeah.
Because if we don't help each other, who will?
Absolutely. And I'm finding that, like, I always thought it was difficult, like, pulling stuff like this together, but I'm finding as I get deeper into it and I do more, like, we're really starting to come together and help each other.
Yeah.
And, like, I love opportunities like this.
But you know what, ever since George Floyd, that's when I saw a difference in us uniting.
Yeah.
A big difference. A big difference.
Absolutely.
I saw it.
Absolutely. So it's a lot for us to talk about today.
Yeah.
Definitely we're going to talk about the show last night. I love being able to go to the show before I have the person here on the show, because then I'm not like, well, what should we expect from the show?
I'm glad I ain't bombed. He would have killed my interview. He
I wouldn't.
We had technical difficulties.
No, I wouldn't.
She was horrible. What are we going to talk about?
I absolutely wouldn't.
They booed her off the stage.
No, listen, that's even more cause for me to have you on if they did. But we know that ain't happened, because you did when I say a phenomenal job, you did a phenomenal job. And I'm such a horror critic. Like, when I'm looking at comics and I'm listening to music or going to concerts, and, like, if you do not grab me in that first 3-4 minutes, it's over.
Yeah.
So, like, you did really good. Bobby, I was going to say the guy before you, but Bobby did really, really good. John did really good. Like, it's a hard thing, like, with such an intimate audience, everybody being so up close and in your face.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to be able to. And I was just listening to you, like, just how calm you were, and just overall how calm you were, like, while you were doing the show and going through your jokes and relating to everybody, and so much that you said resonated, like, as you were telling your jokes and whatnot. And that's something that I look at too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I've been fortunate enough to be at the Cleveland Improv like once a year for maybe like the last 10 years
which is awesome.
And I've been headlining probably like the last 4 or 5, because I started out coming here as a feature.
Yeah.
And they were at another location.
And it's crazy too, because for how long you've been coming here, I don't think I've ever really paid attention to it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, because the purpose of today is really, obviously to introduce you to my audience, but for us to get you out there some more. Like people need to see you. Yeah. Like they need to see you, especially, well, we'll get into all of that. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in today. We definitely still have the hits. I know Decisive got some stuff queued up over there. We actually are going to go into a little bit of music, just a song or two, and then we'll come back with more with Mrs. Alycia Cooper, right here on the Entertainment Plug. What you got, Decisive?
I got some Robert Glasper. Listen, away from the mic, Lord Jesus.
They were just talking about Robert Glasper.
Listen, I got it because of him. You know, like I like Chris, but listen here, you know,
I'm glad he apologized though.
Oh, he did, because I didn't see that. Yeah. I've yet to see that.
I'm glad he apologized.
Yeah, because I really felt some type of way.
If it was me, I still would have felt some kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't.
It was good that he apologized.
I wouldn't. If I was Robert, I wouldn't, because, you know, you can talk all the mess you want to, but I won.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
And he better put some respect on that man's name. And then on top of that, he needs to find a different sound for his music.
Yeah.
And, you know, because everything sounds the same. Like, I love Chris Brown's music, but it does sound the same. The WE had to pull me in because it sounded like everything else. And don't go there. Don't disrespect other artists just because you haven't spread your wings enough to know what's going on out here.
And I think that with where he is in music and with where he is in his career, he should know who Robert Glasper is.
He really should, but he doesn't, because he's in one lane. He's in his own lane, and he's not looking around. And the only thing that he's looking around for are the other artists that know of him, that approach him to do, you know, collabs when they do.
Right.
You know, and it's still all the same. You know, so don't go there, because I would hate to have to expose him. You know,
and you don't want to be exposed by Decisive. I'm gonna tell you that now, because it get rough.
Period.
Them streets get rough when Decisive attacks.
Okay, but I feel some type of way still. So I got some Robert Glasper, some Masego music. So child, I'm poor. So
okay. So we're gonna be right back with Mrs. Alycia Cooper here on the Entertainment Plug. Yeah, when he said that, I was like, wow.
But you know, when he was, from what I've read about Chris Brown, he was a dancer that they found on the dance floor and tapped him to become a musical artist. So he didn't have that love of, you know, some people been grinding and studying great stuff.
Absolutely.
It's like when comedians, they get tapped because they were on a TV show and they tell them to go start doing it. They didn't have that love. And you can tell the difference in the ones who did it without anything else, started from the bottom and worked their way up, and they had a love for it, a fire in the belly for it, versus somebody who was like, do that for extra money.
No, you are so right. I had an opportunity to connect with him. He was 16, so he had just come out. Because I've been doing media for over 20 years. So, he seems really humble. I mean, just like anybody coming into business, they're like, I'm having a good time. It's just interesting to see kind of the journey.
When that money started rolling in, everybody started telling you yes on that. Things change.
Yeah, there's so much more. There's so much more out there in the world that, like, people need to see. Like, they need and I publish a digital magazine. So, I'm doing some things to kind of get elevated and just, you know, really grow it. Like, it's been about 10 years. Actually, this is year 10 now that it's been out there. So, I think getting you in there will be one of the things that I do this year. Like, at the, I guess the first half of the year. I've just been looking at people and just kind of seeing, okay, who do I want to, really start putting in the magazine and focus on now. As we kind of move to the next year. So, that's been my thing, just being in media. I want to elevate us, like promote us, and show people who we got. And it's amazing to me, like it's flabbergasting how long you've been out here. And just how we don't really see a whole lot about it.
Because unless you start getting on the big tour, people just they don't know you're out there.
Yeah.
But I'm going from comedy club to comedy club. It's okay, like people pay the bills, but get to that next level. Like Tiffany Haddish has been around a long time, but it wasn't until Girls Trip.
Because I remember she was on Tyler Perry show. Not to have her.
So the first one,
the first series
House
that
of
we did. No, it wasn't that one. It was almost kind of the same type of show as the Half and Half. It was like a soap opera type of, type of jazz. But yeah, she had a little minor role in it. She wasn't a comedic role or anything like that. But she did pretty good, and you saw her for maybe a season or two. But it was right after that when she started. So I just kind of attributed, her not doing that to her.
yeah, when she had that Carmichael show, she was on there.
Absolutely.
That was a good look for her.
So yeah, but it's good to see you also just because yeah, I feel like always here. And it's just taking us a long time to get out. People singing. I love the stuff that and obviously you do so much more than me. So we'll get into the right side.
Yeah, that's what I want to do now.
And that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah.
That's got to be good.
Because I'm the type of person that, I'm sure most people like this. You need challenges to stay inspired. So with the feeling I get from being on a set directly, with the feeling I used to get early on,
Happy belated birthday.
Now you got 2 more shows here. And then you're not doing any shows tomorrow.
No, I'll fly back tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be in the air trying to catch the halftime show.
Yeah. Riri finna set it off tomorrow. Baby, don't you know you're so beautiful, When I saw this picture, I said, "Oh, this one." I said, "That's what I'm using for the flyer." I want you to see sweet potato fries so bad last night. Every time I go to the Improv, I get the potato fries. I was like, I want something so bad, but I know we just had this full course meal, and I'm so full, but I so want some sweet potato fries. And the girl kept coming around. You sure you don't want nothing? I'm like, no, walk away before I tell you something.
I didn't grow up in the Cleveland area?
I did. I grew up in East Cleveland, so not far from the Superior area. Yeah, grew up right
here. A lot of Cleveland comics. Kim Whitley, Dave Arnold.
Yeah, just passed.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
You back, D? Oh. No, we good. So I'll come back in after this one. Yep, I grew up right here in Cleveland. I pretty much have been here pretty much the entire time. I moved to Phoenix City, Alabama for about a year. It's weird because ironically I loved it down there. But it was kind of like because where I was, it's right on the border of so I halfway was trying to get down that way because I've been doing media for so long, so I wanted to go to Atlanta. I go to Atlanta a lot. So it was just like, okay, I want to go down that way, but I don't want to be in Atlanta. I just want to be somewhere close. So I was in healthcare for 20-some years, and got a job. So that's what took me down there. My son was home. So we only stayed at school here. Got out of school. So we've been back here since 2018. And probably when he graduates, I probably but it just was weird. Like it was But I was like, and Bobby, like, this is like where we live, and it's kind of secluded, with the drama. I'm like, nothing's quiet, nothing going on is quiet. People like to work. And I'm like, I was like right here.
What was the school system like? Integrated?
I mean, it was very integrated. He's also, trying to put in the principles like, okay, well, they were trying to expel him.
Defending yourself.
And I fought it because I was like, I can show you. So they couldn't because it was like, I'm going and nobody's done anything. I actually was at the school talking to them the day of the fight. And while we were talking, it was almost like people ran in like, hey, we need you. And I'm like, they run out to the courtyard, there's somebody comes back in, and I'm like, but you supposed to be at the principal ceremony. I'm like, this is what I've been coming here about, and yeah, it was a mess. So he finished the school year, and like on the last day of school, he's like,
Get out of here.
You got it.
All right, y'all. So we are back. If you're just now tuning in, we are live here on the Entertainment Plug with Alycia Cooper, who is here in the city performing at the Improv all weekend. Amazing show.
Yes, I had so much fun. I love the Cleveland audience. They're just the best. I love coming in.
Me and all my old folks, like we came out to that top show.
Yeah, last night it was grown and sexy.
I am so far removed from the 9:30 show. I mean, the good thing about the 9:30 show is that depending on the comic, it might go a little bit longer, like a half an hour longer. You might get some more jokes. You really get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Because they know, well, ain't nothing coming up after it or whatever. So they might go a little bit longer. But that 7 o'clock show, that's my baby right there. I just listen. I came in there. I had time to get home. Yeah. Put the Netflix
you be
on.
home in bed by 9:30.
Listen, I was asleep for midnight. I got home, put the Netflix on, and I'm like, look, it's just now 10 o'clock. I said, this is good.
Awesome.
As I was telling you, off air, I really loved your show just for the way that you connected with the audience. Like as soon as you came out, and the song you was playing.
Oh, the player song, Corey.
Yeah, from
yeah.
I was at home like, what is the name of this damn song? What's the name of this damn song? And I'm remembering the lyrics, and I'm typing the lyrics in on Google, and they pulled it up, and I'm like, that's who it. I don't really listen to a whole lot of music of today. Mm-hmm, like I'm trapped in the 90s, and like my parents was trapped in the 50s and the 60s when I grew up. I'm trapped in the 90s.
I'm with you.
So I've heard it before, and then it went out my ear. But they did a remix of it to Busta Rhymes' "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See."
I know that's hot.
That's too hot. So I'm like, who is this song? Who is this song? But your show, I thought that you did a really, really amazing job.
Thank you.
Talk to everybody about how you got into comedy, because you've been here for some time.
Yeah, 22 years. Well, it's a.
So you started that when I started doing media, because I've been doing media about 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was, growing up, my cousin Karen moved in with us. She was 9 years older than me. Because her mother, they couldn't get along. Her mother was like a complete neat freak. Like, her mother, the type of woman that makes her bed before work, and, the whole place like it would be in a magazine. It don't matter when you pop up. It looks like it could be shot for a magazine.
Yeah.
My cousin was the exact opposite. Everything on the floor. It was like Oscar Field.
Yeah.
And because she wouldn't clean up, and then her and her mom would argue all the time about everything, she got put out. So she's like 17 and I'm 8. And I'm doing everything she does because I was an only child. So I'm just happy to have somebody else in the house. And of course, she's doing stuff that a 17-year-old would do. So we're in the basement sneaking, listening to Millie Jackson.
Okay.
And I'm watching all the Richard Pryor and I'm all this stuff. But she loved comedy. She was eclectic. She rock and roll music, comedy. So I'm watching all these comics. Rita Rudner, Judy Tenuta, Gallagher, Roseanne.
You talking all them names from like back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. I'm watching the early Franklin Ajayi. I mean, just some of the best comics, and I didn't realize I was forming a love for stand-up. Right. I'm just laughing, and so now everybody that was on there was clean cut because you had to do the late night shows on network television. You couldn't curse, so the black acts were just like the white acts, real buttoned up, and it was a formula because you had to be your jokes had to be approved. So that's all we saw until HBO came out with Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
And blew the lid off. I had never seen comedy like that from a group of people my age. Yeah. So it was like my peers, and they were so funny, And I mean, they could say whatever they wanted to say because it was HBO, and I was laughing so hard. I mean, I just loved everything. And then Martin Lawrence is from the same place I'm from, and it was just I loved Def Comedy Jam. So then I started thinking, because everybody told me I was the funniest person my whole life, I can do this. Right. But what I didn't realize was that they were preparing material. They were writing this stuff, and by the time you saw it, they had been touring with it and doing it for like 4 or 5 years before you ever saw it. I'm thinking they just riffing off the dome, like they improv and getting up there just being funny. They see this audience, they go, hey! No, I didn't know what it took, so I was jumping up on stage with nothing prepared, and I was bombing. And I didn't understand why I wasn't doing well. Them jokes I was doing earlier was horrible. And they just weren't working. And the funny thing was, this was back in the day when you would get dressed up to go do stand-up. Yeah. So you got on, I had stockings, my hair's finger waved. I got on a vest that matches the skirt. I looked the part. I don't have a joke in my daggone even horrible. And my cousin Karen came to record me, and this was when remember the camcorders that had the whole VHS on the side? So she had to slap in that whole VHS thing on the side. And she
you took it way back. And the stupid thing is, I remember that vivid. Like, I remember it.
But the beauty of it is, when you got back, you just put it right.
Right.
Transfer nothing. Man. So just horrible. So I did that like 3 times. I did a place called PJ's in Suitland. I did it at another place, Tacoma Station, and there was some other comics there that night. Joe Claire, Red Grant, Dominique. So all of them were there, and they actually write material and working on their stuff. I'm bombing. Yeah. And then I think I tried it one more time. I was like, oh, well, maybe I ain't as funny as they told me I was or whatever. So I stopped doing it. So a couple years goes by.
It's crazy, too, how, not to cut you off. Yeah. It's crazy how we'll talk ourselves down or we'll talk ourselves out of something.
Well, I should have talked myself out of it.
You said?
I needed to talk myself out of it. This was like around 1995.
Okay.
So now I moved to LA in 98, and I'm producing talk shows at that time. So the year 2000, I go to work for BT. They were doing some talk shows, and the talk show we did was called O Drama. It was like a black and Latin version of The View. Yeah. And it was daytime. So I'm working on that show, and another producer named Doris Rollins, she says to me, I'm doing this show on Friday, and I'm doing the next big things, 2 comics, 2 singers, and 2 rappers, and I'm booked you as the comic. I said, Doris, I don't do comedy anymore. I said, I tried it, it didn't work out. She said, well, you're the funniest person in the office. I was like, well, how hard is that to be? I said, it's Monday. You got shows due Friday, and I have shows due Friday. I can't do this. Well, you're booked. She would not take no for an answer. So I said, all right, well, what am I going to do? So I said, all right, you need to come up with an act. Because I only had to do 3 minutes. Right. So I went and got this book.
That could seem like the longest 3 minutes.
Oh, it is the longest 3 minutes when you don't do it. It's like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and got this book called The Comedy Bible by Judy Carter.
Okay.
And I started reading how you structure a joke. Because everything has structure. It doesn't matter if it's a song, if it's a sitcom script, if it's a film, there's a structure to it. So I learned what the structure was, and I started writing some stuff. And so when I did it on the show that Friday, they had judges. And the judges were Ellen Cleghorn, Kim Whitley, Chocolate,
I remember Chocolate.
Annie McKnight, and I think it was the fifth person, but it was definitely them. And they gave me a good critique, because if they had given me a bad critique, I'd have quit again. I had a good job.
I feel it though, because like, I mean, we all got to be honest that if that was any of us, I mean, definitely if it was me, if I got up there and I bombed, that's gonna be it.
Oh man. Yeah, it's too hard. You know, art is very subjective, but we also sensitive about it.
Absolutely.
You know, so
Erica said it.
Yeah, if you get kicked in the teeth, you're gonna stop doing it.
Right.
So they gave me a good critique, and so what I did after that point was I would work during the day, 12-hour shifts, and then I would go to the comedy clubs at night.
That's love.
So I did that from 2000 to 2008, and then I quit and started doing comedy full time.
That is the hustle right there. 12-hour days, and then you going to do comedy. But that show that you love it though.
And I was younger. You know, you can run around like that when you're young. You can work off 3-4 hours of sleep when you're young. Now I need all my sleep.
So I think that's dope. Like between, you know, obviously when you quote unquote bombed, you know, after trying it the first time, and then you ended up getting into producing TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? Was that kind of like the, you know, when they say, okay, well, have a backup plan or something like that?
In college I interned at BET in DC.
Gotcha.
So I always had the production
I
background.
always wanted to intern with them.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. So then I eventually got hired by them in DC. So I came to LA with a resume. So that's what helped me. And the first show that I got on was actually Magic Johnson's late night talk show.
Okay.
And so and I moved there in March. I got hired at that show in April.
Okay.
So, and I was glad because I only had $1,200 in the bank.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, I got to get a job fast. That was back when you would fax your resume.
Yeah.
So yes, I had a production background when I went there, and I wanted to create sitcoms. That's what I moved to LA for.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because I love Living Single and I love The Golden Girls. So those are my two faves. So that's all I wanted to do. Girls. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
That's beautiful that you were able to get into doing that. Like what so did you create any shows or did you put any shows together? Or?
Well, I worked on a lot of shows, and then I had sold a show, a reality show called Splitsville.
Okay.
And we worked on it. They paid me, but it never made it to air. So,
Gotcha.
you know, a lot of stuff happens like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the most part, I work for other people's productions.
Gotcha.
So, a ton of those.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, do you still, I know that you're, you know, full-time in comedy now, but do you still do any of that? Any production work?
Not really, not so much. What I'm doing now is I'm focusing on trying to direct things that I wrote.
Okay.
So, and I did 3 short films that I wrote, and those went film festivals.
Okay.
So what I want to do next is get hired to do some TV shows, like an Abbott Elementary or Wonder Years or something like that. So
I used to love the Wonder Years.
Yeah. I actually went to Atlanta in August, September this year, and I shadowed the director of the Wonder Years on set, and it was so much fun.
Okay. We're going to talk some more about that. For all you listeners out there, we are live with Alycia Cooper. Alycia is performing at the Improv this weekend. Amazing show. You want to make sure you get out tonight and see that show. Very inexpensive, and you're gonna be laughing your ass off if you go to that show. And the other comics on the show are amazing, are just as amazing, so you definitely want to get out and see that. We got some more music for you guys here. We're going to play a song or two, and we will be back with more with Alycia Cooper right here on the Entertainment Plug. Alright. I said I gotta go out for a second so I can come and give you a hug. Say thank you. It's very good. Thank you so much. She told me it was coming at 12:30, so I think early. But that's fine. It don't have to. You all good. Because I think we're only going up until maybe about 6. And then we'll play some more music. We'll just bring you in So that's cool. I'm glad you came. We figured there was some kind of mix up or whatever last week.
Yeah, I think like always was the 11th. Oh, I think the mix up. Yeah, but we got it good.
Well, it's all good. I'm glad that you're here. We all glad that you're here. So we're gonna get started. And I said I gotta go out for a second to come give her a hug or something. But I do acknowledge her.
Oh, no.
I was I get home last night. I'm like, it was cool.
Yeah, y'all, from upstairs. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's still a work in progress.
so
Got more space.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
it just like I came out. We were I got separated after
The entertainment club.
It's called Entertainment Club.
It's weird,
Okay.
like,
Is this
I guess I
where
was
kind of
just to the fact that there were problems. It seemed like everything was good. Like I was
tag the Entertainment
Yeah,
Club?
yeah, we tagged the entertainment club and Miss Anna Great.
together for 7 years. So it ain't like there's no flash in the plan hands or nothing. That works because we both worked in office. And we were down south. They were paying me so much that I was like, you gotta work. I mean, you can work if you want to, but you ain't gotta like take some time, get used to it, go out, and really adjust to being downtown from her family. So that was part of my that my son wasn't happy. But I also think that tried. She went back. So we came back, ended up celebrating. Finally I was like, all right, well, let's go ahead and get it. I felt like guys since I was a kid. And you suppress it. Like I've told my parents, and I was like, my father was like, well, this turn up, but I can take you back to middle school. And I said, this, and I think in that day, you just knew it was wrong. So I never said that. Yeah. And I mean, I was tormented all this and didn't even identify as that. So, that's what it was for. It was just like, I just needed to be, and just be happy. So, like, and all of that stuff, but it ended up connecting with me and this guy, about 4 months ago. And it just, so I don't even know that I expected it to, but I think I knew from day one, like this is a good guy. And ironically, he works at the hospital. I left the hospital last year, kind of taking that leap. So I'm like, can't get on by 3. But I'm just like, I love this media. And I've been doing this for 22 years. So, I mean, I go out and do BET Awards, Soul Train Awards. But I've been working a full-time job on top of that. I want to. I have. Yes. I want to. Like a lot of the stuff that I've done over the years, as I continue to work or even as I can the downside to the stuff is when you go out and stuff like that, you pay. Like we used to pay when I went and that was 2014. I've done it a few times after that. The first time they paid me, and they paid me when I was so the first time. Since then, everything else I had put through.
So when you reach back out to them,
So when I reach out to them now, like they give me media access and all of that stuff.
Yeah, on Instagram, y'all put real underscore and status radio.
They honestly haven't. They have given me. They're just like, oh, we don't do that or we don't do that anymore. And I'm sure they probably do something. But I just make it work, make it happen. So last year was kind of the year, like the top of the year, I was just like, I'm so frustrated. And I'm trying to make a lot of people. And I'm like, I think I can do it. Just have to stay focused. So my primary income, so I've it's working.
find your passion, go towards it.
I just was like, I need to just go head on. Like, I just need to go head on and just push it. And I was trying to do that struggle and as opposed to doing somebody's job. And can't go do nothing else because I'm sick of the time. Right. So,
And while you got some energy, go ahead and use it up.
I'm trying to tell you. So, I left that job actually this month. I left the last day of February. I walked out there and took all my stuff out the door and worked. I went home, went to sleep, got up. I said, I called them like, it's a wrap. I'm over it. I'm talking to the stuff out the door. I only move somebody else. Right. Because somebody was like, well, you come and get your stuff out the door. I knew I was calling quick. So, when I went to work, I've been like, he has walked my own house, all this stuff. I've worked it enough to where I know when to go out, when to sit down. I also launched a transportation company, so I'm kind of big into entrepreneurship and all that. So I launched a magazine and got the transportation company. So I have like private riders. And I also use that too for if artists or celebrities or whoever is in town and coming to the show and whatnot, I'll give them all my credentials and let them know that I do travel. I got the commercial influence and all that stuff. So I can look if you need a ride. Versus you having to go find an Uber and ride with somebody who costs them or they hard on me at about 20% capacity. Right. Because I'm like, when you were talking about Superior, I'm like, speakers here. We might have been trying to get extra miles in there to get a little bit more money. It ain't as bad as the taxi cabs.
Not as bad as the taxi cabs at all.
We good, people?
One more.
Oh yeah, you do one more.
Okay.
So yeah.
Because I'm not really on, I'm not on the labels and all that. I'm just like a man gay. Like, I don't have time for all that other stuff. But it's weird because I didn't tell her at first because the reality is, I don't know, but also to say that, people be like, well, was that a lie? And I'm like, it wasn't. Because,
Did she ask you a series of questions?
well, she did, but I was just like, it wasn't a lie. And I was good, and I felt like it was the sad thing is, I'm probably and I just was not she probably which is, I don't guess it's weird, but I think 2 weeks like I'm not I guess handed over the top and stuff. Like most people, there's obviously some people who was like, oh, we do all along, we just want to, but a majority of people are like, really? Like I have friends who are still like, it's a phase. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like I'm. I was, and he was the first person I told. And I did say that if he ain't cool with it, because I obviously I gotta be happy and do what I want to do, but I was just like, I don't want to torment him. But the other is something too that I can honestly say we raised him and we did good by him. So not just in sex, and there are people in one person in her family there's more now that I realize I'm finding out that other people are really? And just nobody ever said anything because everybody's so worried about what society can say. And I'm like, fuck society. Like, but it took it very real. He was like, he literally was like, I just
it also comes with generation.
he was just like, and he's good. I think I can honestly say that we're even closer now, and we was mad close. And so it's good. Like, my ex-wife is cool, really cool. Like, I know this. We're going to Cheesecake Factory tonight. So everything is cool, and with dating anybody, like, I make sure that she knows who he is, and that sort of thing, just for the purposes of if my son meets the person, she knows who he is, and that sort of thing. We still all go out together or something like that. So there's like kind of like a mutual respect amongst everybody. So like he knows her, she knows him. Once upon a time, in the motherfucking West, I woke up to the stress and the titties on my head, 20 racks and $100 bills in the bed. God, if they come on, I can have to take me fucking right.
Situation I ever heard of.
It's weird, but I think going into it, I just was like, I gotta have control. Number one, because my relationship I'm not gonna say that. I literally did not be hearing because I've had every opportunity. And I'm just like, I know that father's so close to me all the time. Ain't nobody gonna do that shit. Like, I need to be able to see it's to the point where, like, he was talking about going to college, and I know that it's ain't around in my mind. Like, I like to just speak. Look, I was gonna say you could go ahead, but so we are back. We are back live with Alycia Cooper. So before we went out, we were talking about, you know, the production work that you did on the TV shows and whatnot, and you now starting to sit with directors and that type of thing. Yes. Talk about that and just your love of going into directing.
It's so exciting. I actually got into the top union in the country. It's called the Directors Guild of America, DGA.
Okay.
So I actually got into the DGA working on the Dr. Phil show. So I was always in the DGA.
Ooh, she name dropping.
Yeah. That's a whole nother situation.
Right.
But because I'm in the Directors Guild, I was able to, you know, you can go to all the events. Yeah. You can network, navigate better, and find that they have programs there. I did this lab. That you have to be a member to even apply to, and they pair up newer directors with seasoned directors. So they paired me up with the top African-American director working. His name is Ken Whittingham. And Ken and I just formed the best relationship. He'd come to see me at the Comedy Store, and he brought his son, and, you know, we've just been having a great, we talk on the phone, because part of the program was you had to talk on the phone 2 hours a month. And we spent 2 hours just shooting the stuff, laughing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, we supposed to be talking about business. We will be cracking up. And so he got the job as the head director on the Wonder Years, so he was able to get me to come out there. And so I was so fortunate because it was him. And I told the other people that run the DGA program, I said, wow, I said, Ken got me hooked up, because the Wonder Years is also with Lee Daniels Productions. Right. And so the head of Lee Daniels' company called me and said, we're going to fly you to Atlanta. We're going to put you in a hotel, get you a rental car, and pay you.
That's amazing.
To come shadow on them. I'm like, I'm getting paid to come shadow?
It's like, I'm sitting here playing around in my mind right now, because we always talk about the power of networking and, you know, getting with other people.
And being in the room where it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
And to have an experience like this, you know, you have to be in this organization, you have to have this membership, and then I would imagine you have to pay to get into there, or you have like
Yes, it's a fee to get in, and then you have quarterly dues to stay in.
But it's like it's just awesome, like to be able to see what you can do and the power of being placed in the room with like-minded individuals and people who are doing the same thing. Like, look at that experience that you can get.
And to be in the room, like every year, every February, they do the DGA Awards. And so I'm going to you have to pay, and it's like a black tie dinner. But you're in the room with Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard. And that's where I met John Singleton.
And it's like, and you'll never get these opportunities without being in, like, that's beautiful. That's awesome.
Never get them. So so that's what I try to do. I try to use my whatever access I can get to try to network the best I can. My favorite director right now is Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
You know, he did Pinocchio. He's done Shape of Water. He's done, all those big films. And he said he watches a film when he's not working. He watches a film a day. And I was like, wow, now that's a commitment there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's the best at it. This man is so creative. And it's just amazing. So that being in that union has been a very big blessing for me.
That's awesome. So have you actually started working on any projects that you're directing? Or?
Well, after my 3 films, I did a TV episodic, a web series that's actually on PBS right now that another girl created called Intersection about gentrification in Atlanta.
I did see that.
So they did 6 episodes and I directed episode 5. And what I liked about that was my first time bringing somebody else's vision to life.
Yeah.
Because the other 3 was mine, so I already knew what I wanted.
Right.
So it's different when you're commissioned to do what somebody else's brainchild. And I loved it. I love working with the actors. I love directing the actors, talking to them. I love, the blocking and deciding where everything is going to be shot, picking the angles. I love all of that because it allows you to be creative. So for me, I'll get bored easily.
Yeah.
So I need a new creative challenge.
So what do you like? What do you like the most? Do you like kind of bringing your own idea to life?
Yes.
Or do you like?
I would prefer to bring my own, like what Spike Lee did, all his own projects, Do the Right Thing, all that stuff, and She's Gotta Have It, that kind of thing, because it's you conceptualize it and you know how you want it to go, and it's yours.
Yeah.
So I prefer that, but I don't mind directing somebody else's stuff too.
I have to make sure that I watch Intersection because I would love to see and learn more about that and just gentrification. And I mean, we see it, obviously here in our city as well, where a lot of areas are just completely turning, making those changes and whatnot. And I like to be able to see kind of documentaries and docuseries just on different types of things that really affect us. Like one of my favorites was always, I think it was called Black and White. Do you remember this Decisive with Ice Cube?
Yeah, I remember.
And where they took the black family and they took the white family and they made the white family black. So they gave them the full makeup and everything, and they walked around and lived their lives.
Yeah, wasn't that on TNT? What was that on?
I can't remember.
TBS,
TNT.
I can't remember which network it was on. It is still on iTunes.
Okay. Oh wow! Okay.
I don't know if it's on. I don't know if you can watch it for free. You might have to pay for it. But you know how on iTunes they used to sell like the series, or you could buy the episodes of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
It is on there.
Okay.
And it was something that Ice Cube and I forgot the other guy's name that they had put together and took the white family, made them black, and they walked around and lived their lives as a black family. And then they took the black family and they made them white. And they walked around and lived their daily lives as a white family, and it was just interesting to see. Like it really gave you that first view look, or that first look into the world and racism and how you have wanted to do. Like you clearly have manifested them, and you have worked tremendously hard to get this stuff together. Like I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Like I'm glad to connect with you. And, hopefully we can keep this relationship going. Absolutely. And we'll do some things. I will absolutely get you in Urban Grandstand Digital. That's my magazine.
Oh, I can't wait.
And when you are back here in Cleveland, I hope it's, because you said once a year, I hope it's before 2024. I hope you get back here before, because we still in February. That means we're not going to see you for a whole year.
Well, you know, they might have a fallout and they might call me.
Listen, we got to... I don't want people to think that I just interject myself in everything, but Miss Decisive has an amazing annual boat cruise coming up this summer.
Oh, shucks.
Like, I don't think she would mind an Alycia Cooper being on the bill or something.
It's called the Slap Your Knee Not Your Mama Comedy Cruise.
What? I like all of that. I'm going to be laughing so hard I'm going to fall overboard.
Listen, I appreciate you. Like, I really appreciate you, because as I continue to move at following my passion and doing what I know that I'm really here to do, it's beautiful for me to be able to see people like you who are making it happen. And in the midst of making it happen, you're doing for other people and trying to help other people make their way and find their way. And I felt that even in the response from the email, from your assistant or from your manager or whoever. I felt that immediately, like, they solid. Like, they are solid. And I told her immediately, like, hey, I will be at the show on Friday. And I said, we coming, we celebrating Valentine's, but we also coming to the show.
Right.
So we could see what's going on. And he enjoyed it. He really, really, really enjoyed the show. I ain't seen him laugh so hard between Bobby and you. I ain't seen him laugh so hard, and when I tell you, like, he was literally in tears, like wiping his face with the napkin, and I'm like, this is good. First of all, I'd have set the bar already, but then I'm like, and he enjoying the show. I don't know what to do with myself. So I love you for what you do, and like how you give me the inspiration, like you inspire me to keep going and keep pushing for my dreams.
Yeah, you gotta keep going. What they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. Absolutely.
And there was Joan Rivers quote, because Joan Rivers was one of the people I grew up watching.
Yeah, I did too.
And what I liked about Joan Rivers was that she was fearless and she would never apologize for a joke. I hate when comedians tell a joke and then apologize for it. We're not saying anything to be malicious.
Right.
You know, we're not telling people go kill somebody. We out here in a comedy club telling jokes. Some of them you're going to like and some of them you are not going to like.
Absolutely.
But nobody's out here trying to harm anyone.
Absolutely.
So Joan Rivers never would apologize for a joke. But one thing she said that always stuck with me, because Joan was one of the early women. When you couldn't say the word abortion on TV, they had so many rules when she first started out. And she was doing comedy in the 60s. And they asked her, they said, how many of your friends that started out with you actually made it? She said, all of them that stuck with it.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. Even in the hard times, you got to stick with it. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Absolutely.
So you just got to stick with it. And I think that everything pays off in the end.
I absolutely do. Cancel culture. Because we dabbled a little bit on that, since you've been here. What do you think of that? Do you think it truly exists?
I think it can, but I think that some people can get so big you can't cancel them.
Absolutely.
You can't cancel Joe Rogan. You can't cancel Dave Chappelle. There's some people who they have an audience and a follow. You can't cancel Monique. They have an audience and a following that's so loyal.
They surely try.
That they're going to eat. They're going to eat. So you might derail them for a minute, but no. But nobody's going to be fully canceled, because how long can you really punish somebody?
Absolutely.
So what happened with Kevin Hart with he got pulled off the Oscars for a joke he told like 12 years earlier, when everybody in the audience 12 at that time was laughing because that was the culture at that time.
Right.
Now you're going to pull him off the Oscars. I'm like, come on, man. If he said that last week, absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, you got to show people some grace too. If he said I'm a changed man, then take him at his word.
Absolutely.
So I just think sometimes people go too far with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one thing if you're spouting stuff out, you work at the post office. We're comics. You know what I'm saying? And if they have a punchline and they're trying to be funny, and sometimes the punchline doesn't work, but you know what they were attempting.
Absolutely.
I think that it shouldn't be taken that far. Just say that wasn't funny and move on. Like even with the whole Chris Rock thing, he told a joke to Jada, G.I. Jane. I sure love to see it. That was not funny.
Right.
G.I. Jane, it was like a 20-something-year-old reference.
Right.
Most of the people watching weren't even alive when G.I. Jane was the movie. So, I'm like, that's what he should have been slapped for, was the reference, not the alopecia joke.
Right.
So, when it comes to comedy, you can't be sensitive.
Absolutely.
But see, people used to have a thicker skin. Everybody could laugh at the joke.
Yeah, absolutely. AlyciaCooper.net, that's your website.
.com is the comedy website, and .net is the directing website.
Gotcha. Outside of that, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Alycia Cooper 2, ALYCIACOOPER 2.
Okay.
And you can find me on TikTok at Alycia Cooper 3.
Oh, she got a TikTok.
And you can find me on Facebook.
Okay. I got a TikTok. I just don't ever be on there. I can't get with it. I'm trying my best.
It feels like work. TikTok feels like work. Especially when you're trying to mouth other people's words and you gotta get it right. I'm like, this is a full-time job here.
Right. Thank you again. I really, really thank you for coming on. I thank you for doing this. I truly appreciate it. I'm reaching out to you every time you come to Cleveland. So I guess next year, 24.
When I get the new date, I'll tell you.
We don't have to get you. We don't have to get you back up here. We don't have to figure out how we get you here for the slap your knee, not your mama.
All right.
We don't have to get you here. So thank you so much. Any kind of final words before we close out?
I just want to thank everybody in Cleveland that's been coming out to my shows over the last decade, because this is one of the best, smartest comedy audiences, and we travel everywhere.
Make sure they know
I always enjoy coming to Cleveland, so I just want to thank everybody, particularly here, because it's always a pleasure.
Again, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate Miss Sybil Wilkes for responding to your post last night and making me feel like I was somebody, because I have it in my mind that even though she was congratulating you, that she was saying something to me too.
Yes, she was.
Thank you so much, Miss Sybil Wilkes. And I appreciate you guys for listening to me with Alycia Cooper. You can always get the replays on nostaticradio.net. And we're going to go out just for a second. We'll be back in with our next guest. And this is your boy JRock on the Entertainment Plug.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
That was great.
I'm going to actually put my shoes on, so in case that picture catches me.
Has violence happened to you or your family? Violence can affect all parts of your life, sometimes in ways you can't see. Violence can affect the way you eat, sleep, it causes you to lose focus, feel angry, afraid, or even use drugs or drinking as a way to escape. But we're here to tell you that violence doesn't have to keep hurting, and you can change your health starting now with help from the Trauma Recovery Center. We want you to take control of your life. Today can be the day. The Trauma Recovery Center offers real help for real needs in real time. They offer services for food, code safety, emotional support, and a whole lot more. So listen, don't let violence control you. You can break free, and TRC can help. If you're listening, the numbers on the screen, 216-644-5487. They will come to you wherever you are. They offer real help for real needs in real time. They are free 24/7 and confidential. So look, if you want out and don't know where to start, call the Trauma Recovery Center. The Trauma Recovery Center will help you take back your life after violence starting today. Call today. Get the help you need today. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. 216-644-5487. The Trauma Recovery Center of Northeast Ohio, also affiliated with the Center for Families and Children. And finally, I do this 6 days a week. I do it often on here, but I'm gonna make it a habit. I just want to. We celebrate, outside of the realm. Like our history is forever. Like, how can we not talk about a place that we built, that we've established, and that still sits on the foundation of everything we created? So today on Our History 365, I want to reintroduce to some and introduce to others Richard Bowie Spikes, born October 2nd, 1878, died January 22nd, 1963. He was an American inventor, the holder of a number of U.S. patents. His improvements on the existing inventions, including the beer tap, automobile directional signals, and automatic gear shift, device based on automatic transmissions for automobiles and other motor vehicle, and safety braking system items for trucks and buses. So, just going through it real quick, you guys. Listen, he moved to San Francisco. Richard Spikes eventually received a patent pertaining to the automobile directional signals, which he installed on a Pierce Arrow car in 1913. Yeah. And in 1906, the creation for the patent for the first directional signals for the vehicle became available. 6 years before, Spikes developed his version of the device. While he was working on the brake testing machine, a few years later, the Oakland, California Police Department was interested enough to buy it and try it out. Soon after his marriage, the elder Spikes moved to the Midwest to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and later Bisbee, Arizona. Did I say that correctly, James?
Yes.
Bisbee, Arizona, okay, where he operated a barber shop and later a saloon. He became dissatisfied with how draft beer was dispensed from a keg and developed variations on the pressure dispensed beer tap. That patent was purchased by the Milwaukee Brewing Company, and variations of the invention are still in use to this very day. So look here, you guys. They say that we, as a melanated people, have issues with picking up books. First of all, that's a false fact. People in general have, not everybody's a reader. So with that being said, I say this every week, every day of the week, GOOGLE. Go Google our history. Put in inventions. If you want to do something as simple as put in a fork, which was created by us, or the refrigerator, or the bed, you name it, motion picture, sound, you name it, you put it in and learn about your history. Learning about your history is knowing your now. I'm your girl, Decisive, on the Entertainment Plug, and now back to the Entertainment Plug with JRock.
Thank you. You can if you want to.
You weren't listening, did you? You're on.
Oh, look. Look, I ain't doing we started.
I said now back to the entertainment plug.
Listen, people, I know y'all not out there mocking me and talking about me. I really got it together. I got myself together. So listen, we are back. You are live with the entertainment plug. Again, this is your boy JRock. We are down to the 30-minute stretch. Yeah, it is 12:30 now. This young lady who we have with us, she's really amazing. Like, I look at the people here in the city again who are like really helping and doing the work in terms of inspiring people, pushing people to live their dreams, accomplish their goals, and just be not just productive members of society, but really be doing something that feeds your soul and that feeds the souls of other people. And when I think of people who are doing that, Angela Miller falls right into the bunch. She was going to be with us last weekend, and we had some technical difficulties, which happens, but she is here with us this week, and I think it's so amazing. I'm so grateful to you for coming on to the show. I think that you are a superstar out here in the city of Cleveland, and just looking at the stuff that you've done and how long you've been doing it, because you've been out here for 20 plus years, and just pushing and living and trying to inspire and encourage somebody else. And those are the people who I like to connect with. So thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for coming here on to the Entertainment Club. We have a wide range of guests here on the show. So, obviously, much of our background is music and entertainment and that stuff, but I also love to connect with the people who are helping us and helping our culture and helping our kids. And you do a lot with kids too.
Yeah.
So
Love the kids.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know what it is, the magic it is that you're making out here.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you to you, the Entertainment Plug,
Yes.
and No Static Radio, and everyone that's behind it in Arizona, just for giving me an opportunity to share what it is that I feel is a gift from God, and I have to use it responsibly.
Absolutely.
And I thank God for the opportunity to connect with people and me worthy to even speak about it. So my name is Angela Miller. I am the founder of Painting the Park Global. I call it global because, as you said something earlier with your previous guest about speaking things into existence.
Always.
And it's so true, right? And so you can find us on Instagram, it's Painting the Park Global, also on Facebook. But where it started many years ago, that dream of wanting to do something with the arts. The arts have always been a part of me, and I love the arts and just the creativity, being before people. Like people, I love to see people who stand in their truth, and they are able to confidently do what it is that they are gifted in doing.
It takes work to get there.
Let
me tell you, it takes work within.
It takes work,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But when you see someone who's able to do that, now granted, you don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
You know, in the hard times and whatnot. But it's such a beauty, and it inspires you to want to do your best.
Absolutely.
So, years ago, my dream as a kid was to be an actress. But what I did find that later on in life, it really was to produce and to really help inspire other people. And I didn't know how it would be shaped or formed, but God did. And trying not to go too long, but I went to a school called Cleveland School of Science.
Okay.
Now the crazy thing about it, I love the arts.
Yeah.
But I was accepted into the Cleveland School of Science.
Now, I remember the School of Science. Where was that?
That was downtown Lakeside, off Lakeside.
Okay.
Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, so their focus was on science and math. Okay. That part of my brain, no. Yeah. But that artsy side, that was a whole nother side. That lights up real quick. Yeah. That was just more easy for me. Yeah. But I didn't have anyone to really say, hey, have you thought about this form of art? Absolutely. Because there's so many forms of art. And when people, this is my messages for people, is that art is not just about painting. Yes, you may know me as for painting a park, but we're so much more than just painting a park. I really say that we use our gifts to paint the canvas of life.
Mm.
And how you use your gift is so important because everyone is important. Even the beautiful lady back there that's behind the scenes producing, making sure everything is working, that's a gift. Mr. James, your gift right here. You know how God is using you. Everyone, I don't care what level you're on, where you're at, because people forget that. And they're like, I'm not creative. I don't have any gift. That's not true. That is not true. You minimize that.
And we tend to do that. Like we minimize the things that we are really good at. We do.
And yes, and so over the years, my goal has been to ignite that flame, to remind you.
And to help people to accentuate the good that they have and the power and the skill and the talent. And
to accept where you are.
Yeah.
And to be at peace where you are. Wow. So that has been a discovery even for me. It hasn't always been easy. I haven't always accepted a call. But once I did, wow, that changed me. And it just like...
And it changes so much around you. So as you really begin to acknowledge and accept, you know, where you are and be at peace with where you are, it opens up so many different avenues and doors to other things that you have felt like you wanted to accomplish, and they all kind of start falling into place now because
they all start to fall in place.
you start to love yourself and love where you are.
Absolutely. And so over the years, like I said, wanted to be an actress, but really I would probably be doing well as a producer. But as time would have it, God would give me another opportunity. You know, being a divorcee, being a single parent now, and God remembers what He created.
Absolutely. God remembers, and people will tell you, listen, I only have one shot at doing this, or I'm only going to have one opportunity, and that is not the case.
That's not the case.
The opportunities are always there for you to do it. It's just about, you know, how you take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you. And life happens. So you might be planning to do this or whatever, and you get sick, or you have a kid, or there's always an opportunity to make it happen. You just now have to find the new avenue that's going to be there because this came into place. So it's always going to be detours and, you know, stuff like that. But it's never the end unless you want it to be the end.
Absolutely. And thank God for the church I attend, even to this day, Mega Church.
Okay.
I acted in a play, and I was with the play, and I enjoyed it. I was like revived, you know, and loved it. And eventually, the beautiful director, she had left the church and she moved out of state. But our bishop, he said, you know, I must have shared something with him or whatnot, but he gave me an opportunity to become the director of the drama ministry.
We're on YouTube or Facebook, decisive.
Both.
Look, I was gonna say, I hope they can't see me sitting here struggling with these damn Tic Tacs while she's talking to me. but okay, go ahead.
So from there, that right there, writing, because I used to do it as a kid in elementary, was writing.
Yeah.
And so back picking up the pen to write again. And so I did that for several years. And I will go to the dark side where an unfortunate situation. And so I love doing that.
So like you were writing as a kid, when you were doing that at that younger age, like how did it make you feel? Or like,
oh my God, I say it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It releases. You don't realize, I didn't know to where it would take me. But then you see God's plan all along.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what happened, was writing and enjoying working with different cast members and directing and learning.
Yeah.
I was always learning. And I appreciate those who came with me along the journey, that learned with me. We grew up. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Those are memories that I cherish to this day.
But that's what helps you grow too, is being open to learning when you know when you go into something.
No matter how old you are, you have to always be open to learning. And so, one of the last plays that I did, some unfortunate situations happened, and I shut down. And I said, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
And that was a dark side for me.
Gotcha.
I literally shut down. I froze. And God was sending people to send messages. Angie, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? And people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. That really is a lot of work, you know. But behind the scenes, God was pruning me. God was working on me. He was preparing me for the next chapter in my life. And so eventually, with the encouragement of my friends, my husband, family members, I said, God, if you give me another opportunity, I promise you, I'm going to go full force. And so Painting a Park was born from that.
Okay.
Now, before that, I had a dream. I had these reoccurring dreams of working with children. And I could not understand. Now, I believe in dreams, and I believe in the power of dreams.
Absolutely.
So I had these reoccurring dreams, and I'm like, working with all these children of different ages. And I'm like, God, what is this all about? And as life would have it, Painting a Park was part of it.
Okay. Now tell everybody what Painting in the Park is.
So Painting in the Park, my baby, Painting in the Park is really giving children and families an opportunity to unleash their creativity, to connect, to bond, to have fun. It's just one of those days of relaxation and not being worried about, is this perfect or is this not perfect?
Absolutely.
You know, because sometimes we get so hard on ourselves about trying to be perfect.
Absolutely.
And you forget what you're learning in the process, right? And so in that, it's bringing all the different artistries that I love, you know, coming together to give children and adults who may have forgotten what it's like just to sit down and enjoy life.
Yeah.
Take a moment to breathe, to sit down and relax. Enjoy time with your family. Enjoy time with your kids.
Yeah.
Make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Turn your mistakes into masterpieces and really enjoy. But then it also gave an opportunity for artists to showcase their talent.
Absolutely.
To start off, there were so many people that started off with us from the beginning that were new and they wanted to get out. And that is what I love, that Painting a Park gave them opportunity to do that. So Painting a Park Global is really helping you to unleash your creativity, to give kids a fun way to do that. And
I love
adults
that
as well.
I love that. And we as adults, you know, will be surprised at how much we enjoy stuff like that. And just having that time to unleash and get our minds off of the daily, you know, the rigors of life and just all the different stuff that's going on in the fields and working and different. It's nice to be able to just kind of break away and do something like that and just enjoy, you know, life. I love that. Kids need it and the adults need it. So I think that's amazing. I think it's definitely amazing. So how does somebody get involved with that then?
So it's very simple. We do it annually. We have some other events in between, but this year, we normally do it in July, but this year we're going to do it actually on August the 5th, Saturday, August the 5th.
It's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So I will be there.
Guess what it's going to be called? So it's going to be called Celebrating the Chocolate in You.
Oh, listen, let's go.
Yeah.
I will absolutely be there.
Look, I hear her in the background. So yes, we want to do something that was creative and fun. But yes, it's going to be at Dunham Tavern Museum on Saturday, August the 5th. More information will be provided soon where people can come out and support and just enjoy. But yes, so as I am in the process of preparing for that, what I love doing in having some artists that's coming on board again with us, that will be there. Yeah, this one.
I think that's dope. I'll be there. That's my birthday. I'll be there.
It's your birthday. Okay, shout out.
So I was following your Instagram. I actually just went on and followed Painting in the Park Global.
Okay,
So that's the main page.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody out there listening, Instagram, Painting in the Park Global. You want to pull that up on Instagram and follow that, and that'll keep you clued into what's going on and when they're doing different events and whatnot. Like, how do you feel having put something like this together and to see how successful it is and how people are really able to, grasp onto something from that?
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes it feels so surreal, like, okay, I'm really doing this, God, you using me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be sometimes overwhelming because you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. You want to make sure you're working with the right people, connecting, all the different stuff that goes on that people don't know about. You just want to make sure you do right.
Right.
And it's a big responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love doing it. I do, and I love seeing the kids' faces. Last year we had Christmas in July. And
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
I did see that, and I never looked into it to see exactly what it was or what it was about, but I think I remember seeing like promo for it though.
Yeah, no, that was really fun. The year before that, we got rained out, and so I made some changes. And what I've learned as creatives, never be afraid to pivot.
Yeah,
and it's okay. What you think may be gonna be a journey for life may be another chapter that you have to start.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
And
Closing one chapter to open
another one.
Yes. And so we've had it at a certain location for years since our beginning, but it was time to shift.
Yeah.
And I am pleased with that, working with Dunham Tavern over the years and their support, helping us. That's been greatly appreciated. But yeah, I actually love doing it. I love seeing the smiles on the children's faces and seeing adults also having fun too. They have as much fun too.
That's my point.
So,
like I've learned, my son is 16 now.
Okay.
But I've just kind of learned, throughout, these years that, a lot of the stuff that interests him, a lot of times I end up having more fun than he's having, just going out and just spending time with him and, having a good time. So I think that's awesome. And I see how something like this could even be therapeutic. Like when you're dealing with other stuff and like, especially with the kids, like a lot of times it just kind of opens them up and even helps them see other things that they like to do, from what they're painting and whatnot.
And I think that's one of the things that God was able to use me because my professional career is being a licensed social worker.
Okay.
And so being able to marry the two, I love because it is therapeutic.
Yeah.
And you don't know how, parents have to be very careful. Don't stifle a child's gift just because yours was stifled. That's unfair.
Yeah.
And you gotta be responsible with the kids, showing appreciation for even their artwork. Even though you may not like it, let's be honest, you're not gonna like everyone's artwork and their creativity, but being very careful what you say because kids really do pick up on energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they may not be able to articulate, but they find healing. You never know, and they don't even know it. They're finding healing, peace, hope, joy, and it's sparking something inside of them that is just very powerful.
Yeah. I think this is all amazing. I think it's wonderful. So people that want to, again, keep up with you on Instagram, they can find you at Painting in the Park Global.
Yes.
Do you have a website?
Not exactly yet. We do have another one link, but the new one that will be coming up for Painting in the Park Global is something that's in the works.
Okay, so that'll be coming, and then of course Instagram. Anywhere else that they can find you or find information?
The same page handle on Facebook as well.
Got you. So on Facebook as well. anything else you felt like you wanted to get out with today's conversation? Or?
I appreciate the opportunity.
Look, I appreciate you. Anybody that is doing something to uplift and to encourage and to help not just us but our kids because of everything that's going on in the world, and like we need outlets like that. Even the adults need outlets like this. Like I definitely am going to be at the event on August 5th because that's just going to be a birthday celebration. But anything coming up before that?
Right now I'm hosting a class. It's for the love of art. It's where you're able to create your own perfume, and you're able to create. And it's for men, women, girls, and boys. So you can do whether it's a cologne.
I don't care who it's for. I'm coming because I got somebody I could create something for. So I don't care who it's for. I'm coming.
That's actually in March.
Okay.
And I haven't really put it out there much, but I do need to put that out more.
Yeah.
But that is, and it's a limited space.
Okay.
But so yeah.
Is there a cost in doing it?
There is a cost in doing it, but you get a chance to create whether you want to create 1 bottle or 2 bottles.
That's cool.
So it's up to you,
Okay.
you know. And so it's gonna be some lighter d'oeuvres that's gonna be included, some fun stuff. So
Please make sure that I have all the information.
Okay,
I will be there. We will be there. Yes. So yeah, so make sure I have all the information. I'll make sure you have my card. We're gonna do some more. I know we kind of had a short time today, but we're gonna do some more. We're gonna get you back here on the show. We really gonna get you here to talk about this event that's coming up in March, because I think that'll be dope. Yeah. So we can kind of do some solid promotion for the event. To get people out, and I can push it out to my to my audiences, and we're gonna try to get some people there, and nevertheless I'll be there, we'll be there. So I think that's really dope. Any kind of final words or anything before we close out?
No, no. Before I say no, whoever is listening and whoever is watching, make sure you never forget who God created you to be.
And there's some people on YouTube, Facebook too. So.
Celebrate you. Celebrate your creativity. And even if you have to take time to tap back into when you were a kid, what it was that you loved doing, that you enjoyed doing, don't forget about it. Let it stir back up inside of you. Go forth. Okay. That's enough. Yeah.
Listen, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. I'm glad you made it this week. We definitely going to do it again. We're going to do something specific for this event you got coming up in March. What day is it in March?
March 25th. Okay. Saturday, March 25th. Okay. Yes. So.
Okay, we're going to do something specific for that event. Okay. And I will make sure that I'm at that event so I can make some stuff. And,
I think that's going to be
I like being creative and doing stuff like that. Like I go to the Candle Studio in Beachwood.
Yeah.
Man, them people know me by name. They be like, they be like, hey James. So I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to make my mist for the car, or I want some candles, or something. I love, cool. I like doing stuff like that.
And that's what I love hearing men too.
Yeah,
Men love that too.
You'd be surprised how many more of us really enjoy that kind of stuff, and everybody be so scared to say what they like because they worried about what the world thinks. Listen, you better get out here and live and enjoy your life and have a good time. Yeah. Look at this one. Look at this queen coming in here. Look at this queen coming in here. Look, I done started acting the fool now. But yeah,
I'll bring that out.
But she do. But thank you so much for coming on to the show. We definitely will do it again. Everybody, please help me to thank Miss Angela Miller for coming on to the show. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else. And we definitely will have her back here again. You want to make sure that you pull up Painting in the Park Global on Instagram, and you can also pull it up on Facebook. So pull that up, check her out, see the amazingness that she has going on out here and the stuff that she's doing with Painting in the Park Global to help our kids and to help us, because we need it too, because this world got all of us a little loopy. So you definitely need to check her out. And we're going to be back actually in a couple minutes to close out formally. This is JRock and the Entertainment Plug and Miss Angela Miller.
Thank you, JRock.
Compromise?
Oh, that's cool.
What's compromise? Compromising for what? Compromising for the breathing.
Like this shit. Like I'm ready. Like I can create something. I can create something for him. And then I can create something for the car. Because I drive Uber, so I always get buying stuff, and I've been doing this and that mechanical stuff, I bring the car and all of that stuff. And then I do the stuff too.
This is hi. Nice to meet you. You said painted in the park. What's that? Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay.
And then what's the event you doing next month?
Next month is
So she can. Because I'm my cars.
Okay, yes. Have they scheduled anything?
Yeah, you know, like I'm
Okay.
like, you know, like more than anything, you know, because that's going on. Like, I'm just dealing with the stuff with my grandmother. We very
My number's on there. And then I'm on your Instagram, so I'll make sure that I send you pictures and stuff. Because she gonna snap some pictures of us.
okay. And then I'll text you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And send me a link.
I will definitely.
I've been wanting to do it for a while, and so
Because I'm like, I know my guy, I feel like stuff like that. And then I just make something. So, that's me. I like doing this.
I got to set it out. Yeah. The only guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you can.
Yeah, we're gonna take some pictures real quick.
I think I told her to get here. Okay.
So I can close out and get it out. We're gonna start.
You got a show?
Real Talk with Reese. I talk about everything and anything but issues that are going on and find a solution. We don't just talk about the problem, but try to give a solution. I'm a purpose coach, so I'm just all about giving real life tips. And I have guests, like today I have an artist, a young girl, who's an artist, but she also has a woman empowerment.
James, check out real quick.
Okay. We want to thank you for listening to NoStaticRadio.net. You have just finished listening to the Entertainment Plug on the station where we don't bring no static, but we sure enough bring the noise. Make sure you guys check us out on social media where we absolutely love to hear from you at Facebook.com/NoStaticRadioLLC, on Twitter at NoStatic_radio, on Instagram at @TheReal_NoStaticRadio, and on YouTube at NoStaticRadio. Also, if you like to listen to replays of this show and others on NoStaticRadio.net, make sure you check us out on Mixler.com or Mixcloud.com. Just type in No Static Radio in the toolbar for replays of this show and others on the platform. And for continuous streaming, listen to us on TuneIn.com or on Radio.net and MediaQ. Just type in No Static Radio in the toolbar for continuous streaming of this show and all others on the platform. And for a more in-depth look at all things No Static Radio, including upcoming events, merchandise, or an in-depth look at all of our show hosts, please visit our website at www.nostaticradio.net for all things No Static Radio. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And you know what it is. We've got more music for your listening pleasure here on Your Voice of the Revolution. NoStaticRadio.net, powered by Google and sponsored by Lamont Avenue Wines, the Cleveland Rugby League, and Design Me exclusively.
And partner with Colors. Coming up next, we got The Vibe, Real Talk with Reese. So stay tuned, you guys. You never know. Okay.
Ça parle de relations amoureuses un peu chaotiques.
Yeah, that's okay. Like I definitely want to do that. Like they do like a sculpting thing. Yeah, like the pottery thing. At the you know where the Apple store is? So it's like there's like an indoor part.